All right, let's go. So welcome to another episode of eCom Reality, where we talk all things e-commerce, Shopify, Meta ads, Google ads, email marketing, CRO, and so on. So as you can see, new place, new setup, ignore the wardrobe. So I'm in Budapest for Affiliate World, and during this time, there's also Labor Day in the US. It's on Monday. Right now when I'm filming this, it's Saturday. So we will chat about both of those. And also, let's sit down. I guess this is an Airbnb, so that's why different setting and everything. I won't be showing you around because we're not a vlogging channel, right? You'll see just the typical stuff, right? For someone who does e-commerce and not necessarily drop shipping, right? But I mean, coffee, you can't live without coffee. So we have like free coffee machines and a lot of drinks in here with caffeine, without caffeine, and so on. But of course, where the work really happens is here. So you might see Facebook Ads Manager there, Slack over there. Although fortunately no one is active during the weekend, so that's pretty good. And if you want to see what I'm listening to, it's some nightcore music. So going into the extra relevant stuff here, right? Because all of this was mostly irrelevant. And let's see where we can put ourselves. I guess here. Right now it's actually raining, so not the best time, and I'm not sure if you can see me well enough, so let me just open the lights. Maybe this is a little bit too much, but yeah. Now that you can see me better, let's chat. So Labor Day and Affiliate World. These are the two subjects for this video. So let's get comfy here. And first of all, let's start with Labor Day, because if you are in e-commerce, you probably know, especially in the US, that it is a bigger holiday. And it is a more US related one, meaning that most people will maybe go for a barbecue or take a vacation or just go somewhere, right? And the thing with e-commerce is that you have these holidays which give you an opportunity to sell more and to give people a reason to buy, right? Because, for example, right now I've launched a Labor Day sale for multiple brands that I'm currently working with, and they are all doing pretty well, with maybe one exception, but there it's a little bit different. It's not exactly e-commerce. So the main thing is that offer creation is a huge thing during this time. And this is something that I was actually talking with one of the brands, and because that brand wasn't sure if they should do one sale or another sale, they just did both. Like they have a page for one offer, another page for one offer, and then of course the homepage for that brand is with the offer that they want to focus on, right? So it's actually a good opportunity sometimes to test different things, because we are coming into Q4 soon here. So we are in almost September here. It's 30 August. And in a few days, on the 1st of September, we'll have Labor Day. So usually you would start the Labor Day sale before, because why not, right? And this is a good example of what you might be doing during Black Friday, because many brands are actually starting their Black Friday offer at the beginning of November, right? And why is that? Well, because you frame it as preparing for Black Friday. And after all, think of it like this. If you are not the one with an offer, if you are not the one selling, then someone else will have an offer and will take that, let's say, income or sale from your potential customer, right? Because, for example, myself, in November, I might be buying protein, I might be buying drinks with BCAA and so on, right? I might be buying, who knows, a new phone case, whatever, right? So I will also be spending a lot, and the question is, who will be giving me the best offer? And your customer, if you are in e-com, will be in the same position. They will have a specific amount of disposable income for stuff, and they might not even have it, and they will buy it if you have a great offer, right? Because if there's a great offer, you will even get a loan, right? You'll make a credit, so you'll pay in installments, whatever. So there's always a way when it comes to that, right? So being actually practical, specific here, in terms of offers, what I'm seeing right now is anything between like 15% to 25%. That's usually the sweet spot for many of the brands that I tend to work with that are, I would say, bigger, right? They're at least in the 6-figure range, 7-figure, 8-figure, depending on a few variables, right? Because you can be an 8-figure brand, meaning that you make over 10 million a year. But the question is how much you're spending on ads, right? Because sometimes you want more volume and you do acquire more customers, but sometimes you want more profit, because if you acquire a customer for $100 and they pay you $100, you basically lose money, of course. But even if you break even, right, you basically make no profit. And some brands out there definitely don't want to just be in that position, and especially not forever, having no profit. So Labor Day is going pretty well, I would say, for most brands right now, because it's been a down month. August isn't necessarily amazing. Many people are going on a trip, vacation, like I was saying earlier. So, I mean, you can even see here, right? Like it's pretty beautiful, except the fact that it's raining right now. And actually, I'm not out, but I'm here with my mom. So she's out because she does enjoy traveling more than me. I'm here just for Affiliate World. And I guess with that, I can actually transition into talking about Affiliate World, because honestly, I'm not a big fan of this event in general. It's the first time I'm actually attending it in Europe. So who knows? Maybe it might be more interesting. I've been in Dubai. Was pretty good, but what I enjoy more is the side events, right? So for example, there will be one event from Ad Revival, pretty good guys, and besides Ad Revival, the others, I can hear the rain right now, the others who are holding an event are the guys from Barcelona. I even made a video when I was in Barcelona, so let me remember Affiliate Takeover by Alex Mikol. So I'll have to see if I registered, if it's full or not. I'll have to check. And then in my case, I will be actually meeting with at least someone who I might be working with, right? And the big thing with events is that they get you in person, and you don't get that kind of connection with anyone, right? And this comes from someone like me who actually sits in front of the computer all day, who prefers doing that. However, the relationship is just not the same as if you would meet in person with someone, right? Meaning that you might need 10 hours of calls or 20 hours or 40 hours to equal around, let's say, 30 minutes of one-to-one or 1 hour, right? Just because you speak faster, you just see more of someone in person, and that is always helpful. And Affiliate World will basically be in around 4 to 5 days. Like I said, the event in most cases is not that helpful, especially if you are, let's say, beyond the learning phase in your career, right? You might be learning a couple of things there, but here and there, but in most cases it is about the actual relationships and starting relationships, right? Because even last night I had a call pretty late at night at midnight or maybe 1 a.m. with someone who wants to start a brand, and they have a lot of connections and so on, but they still need the help with specifics like paid media or email or CRO, which I don't do, right? But over time, you just need to build super teams. And this is something that happens also at these events. You meet people and then you create partnerships that you might be working on. For example, I can help with paid media, right? And how many brands need paid media out there? Well, basically almost all of them. So there's always an opportunity for that. But at the same time, I can work with everyone, right? I even to this day have a few small brands that I work with, and at times they're not even worth my time, let's say, right? Because if I calculate how much time I spend, how much I make there, and like having to pay a team and so on, it doesn't even make sense. However, and this is something also to consider, the fact that if you don't spend too much time, or you are able to spend less time on that brand because it doesn't require as much management, you can still have a very high LTV, right? And this basically, and you might be hearing my phone popping here with notifications, So I think it's starting to thunder around here. So let's see how long this video is. So around 10 minutes. All right, so let's keep it fairly short in terms of recapping what we've been yapping about in this video. So first of all, Labor Day, and this is actually one of the last opportunities until Q4 to have some kind of sale and push more volume, I would say, for most US brands, the type of brands that I'm working with. And then affiliate world, so I might or might not be making any videos because, as you can see, I make these videos sporadically. If there's more demand, I guess I could make them, but otherwise hard to say. If there's anything specific that you like hearing from me, it's also the experience. And I know this kind of videos do help because I've also watched people like, let's say, Iman Ghazi, or nowadays, who is, let's say, in a similar position, Daniel Dalen. So there's always someone to follow, and it's kind of heavy raining here. Damn, wasn't expecting to come here when it's raining. It's actually still summer technically, so pretty surprised. But overall, I would say that as a takeaway, what you can take away from here is that let's change the color. All right, purple, I guess. As a takeaway, I would say take advantage of sales, promotions when you can, because relevancy always matters. And besides that, I would say that the other thing is events. Even though I'm not a big fan of leaving my house, leaving my home, because right now, for example, I can't work with someone exactly because I'm out of, let's say, my home, my office, so I'm not as locked in, right? And this is something that you need to be aware of. Are you more someone who needs that stability in one place, or you are, let's say, more of a networker? Because some people are just better at networking, at selling, at making those relationships happen, and someone like you could even have a partnership. And even I have partnerships like that, where someone is better at selling, at actually getting in front of brands, and I can help a lot with operations, right? But I also sell myself, so it's, I would say, a good position to be in. And in most cases, you would want to have the full skill set, but then you have to remember that you need to definitely focus more on what's working best. That's why you see me at events maybe 4 times a year. So I'll be making videos about the affiliate world, Budapest, maybe Bangkok, who knows, 3 or 4 times a year, but that's it. Except that 90% of the time is spent at home, logged in, and doing the actual work that helps us grow. So with that being said, I'll be the one who edits this. It's pretty raw, so fortunately no cuts and things like that. But as usual, we'll be adding some captions here just so it's easier in case someone actually reads, or my English is too bad, I don't know, because it shouldn't, honestly. And with that being said, that's pretty much everything for this one. If you got any value out of it, you can leave a like, you can leave a comment if you want. Any question or any kind of feedback is helpful for sure. It's a small channel still, and honestly, I would prefer if it's small almost forever, because cash or attention is not cash, you know. And in most cases, because I've also grown a YouTube channel in my native language to a higher number of subscribers, and you do get a lot of inbound and messages, but if there's nothing that you can also get out of it, then I would say that it's just not worth it, right? Because you also need to maximize the value of your time, and sometimes it's not replying to people, right? Even if that doesn't sound right necessarily, depends how you look at it, but you just don't have time for everyone, right? Because you also need to do things that create value in this world, right? So you need to focus on what we are best at, and that's how we'll even get more compensated over time. And the more money you have, the more freedom you have, the more you can do the things you like, and usually you do them well. So it's a win for society. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything for this one, and until next time, peace out.